Secret guardians, starry bright, fiery ones beyond our sight, saints of yore, Buddhas too, guiding lights to me and you.
At a local cafe, Jian and her new friends meet for breakfast. On the ride over with Anna and Claire, Jian vows to herself to try to be open.
We made our way inside, and then to the cafe in one corner of the sprawling store. I had no idea what to expect from this group, just as I hadn't known what to expect walking into Anna's the night before. But since that had turned out better than I could have imagined, this time I was truly looking forward to whatever else would be served up besides breakfast. I made myself a promise to set aside my usual wariness and to try to share more of myself, if it seemed the thing to do. After all, it had worked out last night.
The conversation meanders all over the map until Luke, as is his habit, changes the subject with a portentous comment.
The soul too can rot from toxic conditions of the spirit, such as an undeveloped heart, Luke interjected. Let's remember that as we go about our work.
From there, the conversation takes on a deeper, more spiritual tone. After some explanation, Luke makes a pointed declaration to Jian, who may or may not be ready for such. Then he takes his lesson further.
Dear Jian, you are a child of light, he began. There are many who possess that eternal spark. We search for others who in their outer minds have forgotten that the light of the One resides within them, not just in some faraway heaven. And we fight for souls who've been preyed upon by takers. Takers? The word struck an uneasy chord with me. Yes. Those who lie, steal, cheat, murder, control others. Evil incarnate. Labeled differently depending on your point of view. Psychology calls them psychopaths, those without conscience. In religious traditions, they're called devils, fallen angels. Writing about them, psychiatrist Scott Peck called them the people of the lie.
Then Luke goes too far.
They've been studied by your own father.
Suddenly and unwittingly, he profanes this delicate moment in the conversation.
Eamon there, he said, nodding Eamon's way, has even read his book.
Just as he had the night before, he has crossed a personal boundary with Jian that he should know better not to cross. Jian instantly reacts, but tries to ignore her inner reaction. But she feels deeply exposed by Luke's reference to her father.
My father? My heart lurched hearing that. Who are you, Luke Song? And how do you know these things? I tried to steady myself, for I sensed I needed to hear this, but this was just too much, too fast. The night before, I'd told them previous secrets. Losing Mola, my fall from grace, and my trip on high. But what else had Anna told them about me? Suddenly I felt naked in their presence.
By the time Eamon, another new friend Jian has just met the night before, tries to expand on who these takers are, Jian is on the edge of panic. But Luke fails to notice. For the third time in 24 hours, he oversteps his bounds with Jian. This is too much for her to bear.
Jian, we choose to call the ones who have consciously turned to the dark side, as Eamon puts it, takers. And for some sinister reason no one knows, you lost your family to. Luke caught my frozen look. How do you know? Overcome, I couldn't finish my question. Anna squeezed my hand. I thought I'd gotten over this long ago. After all, I didn't remember my family or their abduction. I was only 3 weeks old and Mola had been the only family I ever knew. But the idea of my family falling to takers... A terrible vision, a memory of Brogan and his crew, the Crumlin Road Lost Boys, floated to the surface of my mind. The local dark side. I shuddered, then stood up, trying to hide the panic in my eyes.
Jian bolts from the cafe, though Anna follows her out, apologizes for sharing some of Jian's story with the group, and coaxes her to rejoin them. It is a lesson for the group, and Luke in particular. One must be vigilant and sensitive to the personal boundaries of others, and one must always watch one's own words quite carefully. For a multitude of reasons, from parental influences to the social environment one is raised in, to deep-seated momentums from past lives, one's habitual ways of talking can include thoughtless habit patterns. Such harsh ways of speaking need to be recognized for what they are. That is the first step. For too often, there is a lack of awareness regarding how one's words impact others. Then, once recognized, such rough speaking habits can be remembered and replaced with gentler, kinder ways of speaking. Another unconscious speaking habit is the tone one uses with one's words. The tone one colors one's words with reflects the speaker's inner emotional state. Whatever state that soul is in will come out in one's unguarded words. And as words have substance that carry and broadcast energy, qualifying one's words with kindness never hurts. Beyond the words one chooses to say, and the tone of voice one uses to convey those words, sensitivity to one's audience, no matter if that audience is one or many, is recommended. Such sensitivity includes attunement to and respect of the personal boundaries of others. For many, this is an instinctive soul skill. One does not walk up to strangers on the street and get personal with them, for example. However, there are nuances to this skill and blind spots souls have, such as Luke's bad habit of becoming way too personal in his comments with Jian. Yes, Luke again oversteps boundaries with Jian, and so does Anna, for she is the one who told her friends more than she probably should about Jian's personal life. However, mistakes can lead to opportunities to learn if we were willing to take such opportunities. We all can probably think of embarrassing mistakes we've made at points in our lives and we've learned from. So until next time, may you walk carefully in the light.